Okay, my name is Bob Nowak. I'm the director of the Town Boys and Girls Club for the last 42 years. Some of the stories that I'd like to share with you are funny and happy. I've been privileged to have some great kids. I've been lucky enough to attend many weddings as they grew up. I've even was asked twice to be the father of the bride, even though the bride had a father, but loved the club and myself so much that they gave me the honor. How do I know the club works? Well, 90% of our products are walking around and telling us so, as young adults and as grandparents now, as they come in and drop off their most cherished product, which is their children. I have a small letter from a young lady that I was the father of the bride to. And this was kind of a desperation situation she got into, and it kind of escalated to a tragedy. But it says here, "I'm lost and so confused. I need your help, your advice. I don't know what else to turn to. If you have some time soon, please sit me down and talk to me privately. Bob, I really need your help. You know me pretty well. You were always there when I needed you." Now remember, this young lady is a young woman now. And she grew up at the club, and I had her for 12 years. So it says further on, "Here is my phone number. I had to change my number a lot of times already, so please try not to let anyone see this letter. Bob, I don't need to talk to you on the phone. I'd like to talk to you in person. You are very smart, and I need advice from someone I trust because I don't really have faith and trust in others." And this young lady, she lived in North Carolina, and it turned out to be, she took an overdose of drugs and ended up killing herself. And that was 2 days before I was supposed to fly down and see her. So again, there are some tragic things, but the trust and advice the Boys and Girls Club staff and myself give children lasts forever. Because when push comes to shove, they need somebody they can trust. And I tell my staff constantly, be careful what you say, because they take it to heart. They trust you. And so when you say it's no big deal, and we go home at night, that person goes home and they sometimes abused, sometimes ridiculed about what they do, but they'll say, well, Mike said it, or John said it, and they believe us. And again, that's part of the responsibility of what we do. Okay, welcome back. Again, my name is BobKat. I have run the Boys and Girls Club for 42 years, and we're going to get on the lighter side of some of the things that happened to me and the staff over the years here. Camp TBC is a highlight of many a member here. Kids who went to camp with us truly enjoyed themselves, and the staff. It's getting out of the city, it's having a good and hot summer days together, and over the years, between the thousands of frogs we have caught, the poison ivy, the numerous capture the flag and treasure chest hunts, we've given everything away at camp for a good time for people. We give bills, tickets that expired. We have goofy gifts, but at the end of the year, I think a young person will remember at Camp TBC more than anything they've done over the summer. We had a young man, we're going to call him Jeffrey. Jeffrey was sent to camp. He didn't want to go to camp. And he was 9 years old. He was a little tough guy. And in the morning we'd say the pledge, he'd refuse to stand up. He'd refuse to go in his classes. And finally this little boy on one day came up to me like a little man and goes, "Look it, I had enough of this camp and enough of this crap. I'm out of here." And I'm standing there looking down at this little boy, and before I know it, he took off. And we have a shelter there, and he just took off to the woods, and I'm yelling, but he didn't stop. He was going. So I told the staff, go get them, go recover our product. So they looked, they come back a half hour later, we can't find them. I go, what are you talking about? Now I call the park police, we're searching for this kid. I don't know what instinct I had, but I said, I'm going in the club van, I'm heading back to the club. And as I'm driving from Beaver Island, from Grand Island over to Grand Island Bridge, there he is, walking on the side. So I pull over the van, traffic's backed up, everybody's calling us names and this and that. And this little boy, he wouldn't get in this van to save his soul. So I finally got out, grabbed him, and threw him in the van. Well, you can imagine what all the people saw. They saw some knucklehead grabbing a kid in the van. I don't know how many cars called 911, but there was a lot of them at the other end of the bridge. I get him in, get down the bridge, there's 4 cars. Blocked me off, pulled me over, not guns out, but almost. Get out of the van. You know, this boy, he loved it. He got out, he goes, yeah, he kidnapped me. I go, would you be quiet? Needless to say, after I explained to the police, we calmed things down, and they understood. We took the boy home, and believe it or not, next day he was at camp. But as years went on, he now is the vice president of M&T Bank. And to this day, he remembers that camp. He goes, Cat, I gave you a run for your money, didn't I? I said, you almost gave me a heart attack. But that's one of the wonderful stories about Camp TBC. What they don't like one day, they learn to love the next day. Thank you very much. I'm out.